I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your 3-minute cattle market update for December the 23rd on a Friday here. Let's just look back at 2016. This is going to be the last report for the year till January 2nd. So we'll just take a look back and look at the way your board ended up here right before Christmas on your live cattle on February contract. Wednesday was up 72 cents. Thursday up 57 cents to end the day on Thursday at 116.80. December spot fats ended up at 114 even, so they're just about to go off the board here before too long. Feeder cattle on March contract, Wednesday was up 35 cents, Thursday was up 97 cents, to end the day on Thursday at 127.17. Look, we had look at the January spot feeder cattle at 131.12. Look at your fat cattle trade here on Thursday. Had some interesting fat cattle trade. Remember, we had some trade on Wednesday that was just kind of up in the air all the way from 111 to 114 and change there. And it was mixed up in all the different regions there. So we weren't really sure what was going to happen, but the guys that knew to go ahead and push. They knew these packers needed some cattle, and they come out there Thursday early in the afternoon and trading live fats from 115 to 116 in all the major areas there. That's $3 to $4 higher. Your guys up north on a dress basis end up gaining $5 to $6 from 180 to 181. So excellent fat cattle trade. Not a huge movement, but a good moderate movement. And not sure if we're going to have any trade here that week before Christmas and New Year's, but it's very unlikely that if we do have any significant trade, that it'll either be lower or higher, because they'll basically, if they want to buy any more cattle, it'll be right in there close to what this market is here, because not a whole lot of business going on between Christmas and New Year's there. I'm going to have some reports here on Friday. Your cattle on feed comes out, hogs and pigs, cold storage, and those are going to come out a little bit early, so it's also unusual that they'll come out before the board closes. So we'll see what happens. We hope it doesn't turn anything on its ear there right before Christmas. But look at box beef cutout values. The choice select spread has really shrunk down. It had expanded out there pretty wide right before Christmas as those really high dollar cuts were bringing the big bucks, and of course they wanted the choice and better for that. But then right here, as we got really too close to ship before Christmas, some of the cheaper cuts started picking up the slack as those expensive rib cuts started slacking off because they couldn't get those delivered in time for people to get for the holidays. So you know, the box beef is really looking pretty strong, so that's good going into the end of the year here. Slaughter so far for the week through Thursday, 456,000. Going into holiday right here, that's pretty good there, because it's exactly the same as we had last week, 456,000 through Thursday, and 60,000 more than the same week a year ago. But let's look at some things here at the end of the year. You know, 2016 hasn't been a great year. I don't know a lot of people that have any big tax problems or anything, but it was really 2015 that stung so much. We've had several wrecks to get us off of those big highs that we saw in 2014, and you can't blame it all on 2016, although we've fallen here. But you look at right here at the end of the year, compared to the same time last year, our fat cattle trade is less than $10. About $6 or $8 lower, and that's not bad at all, because it really feels like we've been through some tough times. Our box beef cutout values are roughly at the exact same level as they were this time a year ago, after being the lowest in 5 years earlier this fall, so we've come up through there. Your calf prices are $40 to $50 back. They're suffering the most, of course, and that's hard on you cow-calf producers. Your feeder cattle are about $20 off of what they was this time a year ago. And slaughter has been 5.6% more through the year to date here for this whole year compared to the year of 2015. All of red meat production is up 3.3%. And your pork we've just been flooded with all this pork, but it's only up 1.1%. Of course, when you kill as many hogs as they do here in the United States, it's hard for that to be up a big percentage, although we have broken many records week after week in that hog slaughter, because those pork producers are really the corporate pork people, they just turned that production up so much on the hogs, and that's what we've been buried under all year. And we're going to come out of that, so that could bode really well for the cattle business going into the spring parts of this coming year, because they finally decided to dial that back to help they got the hogs down so cheap that the hog end of their pork production was losing so much money. They decided to prop that up a little bit and back the production up. So that's going to help cattle. It's got to help cattle. It's our biggest competitor. But look at some of your feeder cattle here late in the week and late in the year here. Cash feeders earlier in this last week of trade here on light offerings was mostly steady to firm. Seemed like it picked up a little bit here midweek, and actually here on Wednesday and Thursday we had the best sales of the week, because those big early week sales just didn't have a whole lot of nothing. But you look at some sales here middle of the week in Creston, Iowa. They had a really good sale there on Wednesday, although not a big run, but not bad for this holiday week. But look at some odd weights here that are bringing big bucks. They had, just after lunch there on Wednesday, they had 48 steers weighing 1183. But Tom told me they were just moderate flesh cattle, or feeder cattle, not fat cattle, and not near beers either, just big old woody there feeder cattle, and weighing 1183, bring 121.10. And you don't see big load lot or big steers, feeder steers like that go through an auction very much. But Tom Fry and his family do a good job there in Creston, America, and we'd like to give them a shout out. Tom's a better guy than most of us, and I guarantee you he knows the reason for the season. But look at some other places in Salina, Kansas. Look at their market report on Cattle Market Central. Their big calves and yearlings were sure steady to $5 higher than last week, and had a pretty good sale there, around 2,000 head in Salina, Kansas. And you look at some load lots, and Thursdays always are big sales in the Kansas areas, because we got Salina and Pratt in the north and south ends of the state, and they're both really good sales. They both had a sale on Thursday there. Look at those load lots of 8-weight steers, and look at all those listed are load lots out of Salina and Pratt. All those 8-weight cattle bringing from 133 to 138, and that's sure a good test of the market. But we'd like to wish all of y'all a Merry Christmas here from DV Auction and Cattle Market Central. If you haven't logged on to Cattle Market Central, I don't know what you're waiting for. There's a world of information on there from sale barns all across the nation. If you've got a sale barn, you're wondering how come you're not getting mentioned here, or on your feeder flashes, or on your national steer trackers, on these reports all over, it's because you're not on Cattle Market Central. It's easy to get on there. You don't necessarily have to broadcast with us. You can just let us tap into that, and it's all free, and you get a lot of exposure out of it. Check out DV Auction. We're getting ready to start buying bulls here. It won't be very long. We're in our spring bull season here, and we've got a lot of production sales coming up here right after the first of the year. If you're going to have a bull sale and you haven't consigned your sale yet, you need to get a hold of your contact here at DV Auction, and we'll broadcast that for you and open it up to a world of buyers. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you on January the 2nd.